Okay, so let's try this for a second time. Unfortunately, I got disturbed the first time. So we're going to try this a second time. Okay, so this is the third time to try and record this. The first time I actually tried it in front of a live classroom. And unfortunately, I found out that it could only record this camera for 6 minutes. 6 to 7 minutes at a time. So what I'm doing is I am going to pause it every 6 seconds. So I'm sorry if it seems choppy. And so I'm going to re-record this one. The second time I tried to record it, I got interrupted by different people walking in and out and in and out. So I finally sent a text to everybody saying, please do not disturb me. So, also, sorry if my voice sounds a little weird today because I have some allergy problems. So, and my hair is just wonderful, I think. Haven't combed it. So, we're going to try and record this a second time, or a third time, okay? So we did go over some vocabulary words. Some vocabulary words include eiga, which means movie, asagohan, breakfast, kohi, coffee, bangohan, dinner, hamburger, hamburger, hirugohan, lunch, mizu, water, ie, home or house, usually referring to your home or your house. No, it's the other way around. Not referring to your home or your house. Uchi is referring to your place or your house or whatever. Asa, meaning morning. Ashita, meaning tomorrow. Itsu, meaning when. Kyo, meaning today. And then we went iku, meaning to go. Kairu, meaning to return. Kiku, to listen. Nomu, to drink. Hanasu, to speak. Yomu, read. Okay, okiru, to get up. Taberu, to eat. Neru, to sleep. Miru, to see. Okay, kuru, meaning to come. Suru, meaning to do. Benkyou suru, meaning to study. Okay, and then we did ammari plus not much. Zenzen, not at all. Taite, usually. Chotto, just a little bit. Tokidoki is sometimes, and yoku is often. Okay, so we will actually use a lot of that in our explanations of stuff. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to go over is that there are different verbs. Okay, one important thing about the different verbs is that they have a dictionary form, which is the do form of the verb. Okay, yes, I have my drink of Dr. Pepper as always. The other is the I've already forgotten. The other is the tenego, or the formal way of speaking. Now, in the dictionary form is also the informal way of speaking. And of course, that would be a wonderful text saying, okay, I understand not to disturb you. Really, I'm not going to record it a fourth time. Okay, so, and I've lost my train of thought. Yay. The informal is also the dictionary form. I'm not going to require you to memorize that at all. Right now, at this moment. But I recommend that you learn it. Okay? I'm not going to force you to use it. The formal way of speaking, I'm actually going to say you're going to need to use it. But right now, you don't need to use the informal or the dictionary form. Okay? So, there are two different types of verbs that you have. You have the do verbs and the u verbs. Okay? So you have the do verbs and you have the u verbs. And I'm going to get this, and that just dropped. Yay. Happy birthday to me. Alright, so the u verbs. Oh yeah, and I forgot. You should know hiragana and katakana by now. You should have memorized it, you should have studied it, you should have done everything possible with it. Okay? The u verbs include iku, kairu, kiku, nomu, hanasu, and yomu. Okay? So those are your u verbs. Okay? Now, your do verbs. So, iku, kairu, kiku, nomu, hanasu, yomu. Iku, to go. Kairu, to return. Kiku, to listen. Nomu, to drink. Hanasu, to speak. And yomu, meaning to read. Okay? Now, you have your do verbs. Okay? You have... Yeah, that was horrible. Okiru, taberu, neru, and miru. Okay? Okiru meaning to wake up, taberu meaning to eat, neru meaning to sleep, and miru meaning to see. Okay? Now, we're going to go over these two to begin with what just dropped off. Okay? So, now, the most important thing, though, okay, is this. Okay? So, let's pick something. Okay? Let's go with taberu. Okay? We're going to conjugate it. Okay? The cool thing with conjugation is that you do not have to have a I, he, she, it, whatever. One word means one word. Okay, so we'll go with start off with the do verbs. Okay? So we have taberu. Okay, and I am on page, I don't even know of the old book. I am on page 58 and 59 of the old book, just in case you're curious. Okay, so you have taberu. So, here's what you do. Tabemasu. That's your do verb. And then, tabemasen. Taberu, tabemasu, tabemasen. Okay? Here's what I did. This is all I did. I took the ta and the be, and I kicked off the do. Don't need this. I don't need the do. And I just added mas, and I added masen. Okay? Taberu is the informal of to eat. Tabemasu is the formal of eat, and tabemasen is the formal of not eat. So it's the negative. So this is the positive. Tabemasu is the positive. Tabemasen is the negative. Okay, so now let's try one more, and then we will move on. Okay, let me think. What's a good word? Any word? Any suggestions? Okay, let's do miru. Miru. There's my eraser. There's my eraser. Okay. So these are your do verbs. It is a good suggestion to memorize. These are do verbs, these are u verbs. Okay? So, what did I choose? I choose neru desu ne. Yeah. Or miru. I said miru, didn't I? Miru. Okay? Here's what you do. Cross out do, don't need it. Mi mas. Mi masen. Okay, that being the positive, positive present, or positive informal, positive formal, mimasu, and mimasen being the negative formal, meaning I have not seen, I have seen, to see. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to erase this, do another, not another, we are going to do a verb, okay? Now let me think. Okay? Here's a good one. Iku, okay? Meaning to go, or I go. Okay? So now, let me think. Iku would be ikimasu and ikimasen. Okay? Iku meaning to go, ikimasu and ikimasen meaning not to go. Okay? So this is the positive formal, positive informal, and positive and negative formal. Okay? So iku, ikimasu, ikimasen. Okay? Let's think of another. So, okay, well, first off, let me ask you a question. What exactly did I do here? I took the iku and I changed it. I changed this, I go, oh, well, what I want to do is I'm going to change it to, yeah, I totally look gay here doing this. What I want to do is I want to take it and I'm going to go change it to a ki. So I changed that ku. You're still using the K here, but you're changing it from a KU to a KI. And that's why it's called a U verb. Okay? So ikimasu, ikimasen. Okay? And then all I added was mas and masen. Okay? So, let's choose another word here. Okay? Hanasu. Hanasu. Okay? So, if I were to take hanasu, let's say. Okay? Hanasu. Okay? Hanasu. Let's say that I took that. And then I also took hanashima. Whoops. Okay. Hanasu would be, I gave you the answer. Hanasu. Okay? So what do? Oh, look, that's a su. So I'm going to change, so I'm going to take the su, I'm not going to cross it out, I'm not going to take the s, but I'm going to change it to a shi. So, hanashi ma su. Hanashi ma sen. Okay? Hanashimasu, hanashimasen. So this means to speak. Informal. This means to, or this means, you know, to speak or I speak. Formal. And this means I do not speak. Informal. Okay? That is what you do there. Now. Okay? Here's the sad part. You ready? In every language, there are weird words and exceptions. Okay? So. Sad, sad day. Sad day. Weird words and exceptions. Okay? I'm only going to do 2 exceptions, or irregular verbs. Okay? Kuru and suru. Okay? Weird verbs. Now, they also have benkyou suru, but hey, it's the same as suru. It means just to study. Okay? So, kuru. So, these are your irregular verbs. Okay? Those are what you're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about right now. So, we're going to take the 2 together, kuru and suru, and we're going to break it apart. Okay? So, kuru becomes kimasu and kimasen. Okay? Kuru, kimasu, kimasen. Those are that's one of them. So, kuru becomes the ki. There's no way, you just have to memorize this. I don't even know how to explain it. The kuru becomes the kimasu, and the kimasen, you could technically say, oh look, I take the beginning word and I take out the ku and add ki. You could try that, but I personally don't know how well that would go. Okay, so then the other word, kuru meaning to come. The other word is shimasu, which means to do. So you have shimasu without that little extra thingy-mabobby there. So then great. I just gave you the answer. But shimasu, you convert it, okay? So it becomes suru, okay? Let me change it around here. Suru becomes shimasu and shimasen. That is what suru becomes. Shimasu, shimasen. Okay? So those are your irregular verbs. I don't know what else to go over from here, except those. Well, here's what I want you to do. Okay? If you look on page 59 and technically 58, you can find the different forms. Okay? So there's that. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. Okay? I want you to look on, and yes, you got work to do. I want you to look on page 65. And I want you to do by yourself part A and B, big B, little a. Not little b. Not yet. Okay? So, we are. So, pause it now, if you want to. And that's on page 65 and 6. And then the other one's on page 67. Okay? So, so pause it, and I will go over it now. Okay? First one, nomu, nomimasu, nomimasen. Kiku, kikimasu, kikimasen. Miru, mimasu, mimasen. Suru, shimasu, shimasen. Probably speaking too fast. Hanasu, hanashimasu, hanashimasen. Iku, ikimasu, ikimasen. Kuru, kimasu, kimasen. Kairu, kairimasu, kairimasen. Neru, nemasu, nemasen. Yomu, yomimasu, yomimasen. Okiru, okimasu, okimasen. Number 12. Benkyou suru, benkyou shimasu. Okay? Benkyou shimasen. Okay? Now, BA. Oh, I forgot something. You'll look at me and you'll go, wait, what? Okay. So, when you're going over a verb, okay? When you are going over a verb, you always want to do, verbs always have past to it, Okay? Okay, so, like, for example, let's do taberu. So if I were to say, or if you do something, let's do, kohi o. You always have a o, which is technically a wo, but it becomes an o. Kohi o. Yeah. Nomimasu. Okay. Kohi o nomimasu. Okay, so if you're doing something, or for example, sashi o yomimasu. Okay, sashi o yomimasu, meaning to read. I'm reading a magazine. Things like that. Okay, now if you're going someplace, you always want to use. So you want to o if you're doing something. If you're going someplace, you want to use a ni. So, for example, to shokan ni ikimasu. I'm going to the I'm going to the library. So use a ni, or for example, gakkou ni ikimasu. I'm going to school. So now you can do BA. Alright, so now that you've done that, you can now study this, okay? So, for example, teipu o kikimasu. Tennisu o shimasu. Hamburger o tabemasu. Coffee o nomimasu. Terebi o mimasu. Nihongo o hanashimasu. Okay? So you should know those. Now, another important thing about all of this, okay, is what I'm about to explain to you. Okay? Now, they had 2 and 7, but what I decided to do was take 2 and I decided to take 7 and I decided to combine them together. Okay? So, you have number 1. Okay, you have these adjectives. Okay, you have, yeah, that messed me up. So you have 大抵、ちょっと、時々、よく。Okay? Usually, a little, sometimes, often. Here's the trick to this. They use shimasu. Or the, not shimasu, but they use masu, the masu form. Okay? You also have mainichi. Mainichi. Okay? Then you have I'm going to ignore that. You have amari, and you have zen. Okay? So you have ammari and you have zenzen. Okay, this one means not much. This one means not at all. Here's the trick to these two. These two use masen. So, if I were to give you an example, if I were to say, okay, here's an example. Okay? So you have, so, 毎日大抵ちょっと時々よく. They use mas. 毎日 means every day. Ammari, from here on, ammari zenzen means not at all. So you have not much or not at all. Okay? So, now for example. Okay? So now let's take an example. And let's say that I say, okay. Watashi wa yoku terebi o mimasu. Watashi wa yoku terebi o mimasu. Wa, as you said, X, Y, Y desu. Okay? So it's saying, I often watch TV. So get another one. Okay? Meri-san wa tokidoki asa gohan o tabemasu. Okay? Meri-san wa tokidoki asa gohan o tabemasu. Or tricky tabe masen. You're like, wait, what? Tokidoki masen. I'm taking it and I'm putting it in a positive way or a negative way. Mary sometimes doesn't eat breakfast. You could say that in English. You could say sometimes doesn't eat breakfast. That's what that is here. Okay? Mary sometimes does not eat breakfast. Okay? Okay, now, let's do a negative, shall we? I'm probably erasing it too fast, and you can write it. But hey, it's a video. You can go back. Okay. Watashi wa. Oh, this is okay. Watashi wa. Ashita. Kyoto. Kyoto ni ikimasu. Okay. Watashi wa Kyoto ni ikimasu. I am going to Kyoto. Okay? Now, here's another one. Su-san wa kyou uchi ni ikimasu. Okay? スーさんは今日うちに行きません。So you notice the 京都 is a place, and you have に and you have 行きます just like explained. 今日うちに meaning place 行きます。Okay, スーさん is not going home today. I wonder where she's going. Okay, so there's that as well. Okay, so now what I want you to do, as always, there is work to be done, is I want you to do on page 70. On page 70, always check the time because I have to stop it. On page 70, I want you to do page like Roman numeral number 4. Okay? How often do you do the following activities? Answer the questions using the expressions below. Or for example, 毎日本を読みます. So, for example, スポーツを so right here is 本を読みますか? よく読みます. いいえ、あんまり読みません. Okay? Those are your answers. I will give you examples of all of these. スポーツをしますか? And notice it has the を. 私はいいえ、スポーツをしません. But I'm gonna say あんまりしません. スポーツをあんまりしません. 雑誌を読みますか? いいえ、全然読みません. 図書館に行きますか? 時々に行きます. 映画を見ますか? 毎日映画を見ます. コーヒーを飲みますか? いいえ、あんまり飲みません. I will tell you this. I drink one day, and that is Sunday, and I drink about 90 ounces of coffee on that day, from like 8 in the morning till 1 or 2. So I drink about 90 ounces in about 5 or 6 hours. Okay? So I say あんまり because I only do it once a week. 日本の音楽を聴きますか? はい。or 毎日日本の毎日聴きます. 朝ごはんを食べますか? いいえ、朝ごはんを食べません. Okay? So those are your things. Okay? Those are your, there's that. So now, I'm going to go over some kanji. Okay, kanji. Okay. So, we're going to learn 5 kanji today. Okay? And then probably 2 for the next couple. Okay? So, we're going to go over a couple of numbers. So 1. This is so hard. 1. Ichi. That is 1. And it looks like 1 extended finger. Either going like this or going like this. 1. I want one of those. Okay? That's how the Japanese remembered. 2. Oh, look. Neat. 2 Japanese fingers, or 2 fingers extended. And 3. looks like, now how did they get it? I don't know, but it looks like 3 extended fingers, right? But how is this one shorter than these two? How is the middle one shorter? I don't know. Maybe it's a joke. They're trying to make fun of people or things. I don't know. Oops. Got distracted there. Forgot to start it. Okay, number 4. Yon. Okay. Guess what? This was actually very, very, very easy. What they used to do is they used to do this. Look at that. That's 4 fingers extended. But it changed to this one. Which used to be breath. Because this is a kanji for mouth. And this would be like the air that's coming out of your mouth. Well, later they changed it. And they were like, oh, well... it was a phonetic substitute, so they, because if you go yon, 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 you know, the tongue does that, and there's your mouth. So phonetically sound. Okay? Then, it also used to be this as well. It used to be... something, no, that's not right. It used to be something along those lines, which looks like your 4 extended hands with the fist in it. So it kind of looks like that, and that's what it used to be. So it went from that to this to that. Okay, and so because they use this one because it's phonetically sound. Number 5. Okay. Again, 5 used to be written like that. 5 fingers. But it changed. It changed to, but it changed. It used to be written like this. Okay? And then it kind of evolved from there into something kind of like that. And then it became something more like that. Okay, so this is the actual kanji. So yon is that, and that. Okay? Was used as a substitute for both its sound and the fact that it was replaced the 5 fingers when winding up yarn. So it was the 5 fingers when you're winding up the yarn. Okay? Okay, so, oh no, we have homework. Yes, you do. Ha ha ha. Alright, so here's what I want you to do for homework. You're like, oh, I'm going to do this later. I want you to do your work that you did in class. I want you to do that later. I mean, that what you said, oh, I'll do later. I want you to do that for homework, and I want you to go to the, probably can't see me right now, but you can most definitely hear me. I want you to go to your workbook, and I want you to do, on page 25, number 1, 3.1, okay? I'll write it in green. 3.1 and 3.2 and 3.6. Okay? That is your homework that I want you to do. Okay? So, if there's any questions, let me know, whatnot. But that's what we'll do. We good?